Oh hey, don't mind me. I'm just getting ready for my Donkey Kong speedrun. Despite me not knowing any of the tricks or anything about speedrunning in general, I feel like I got a fair shot. Speedrunning is when somebody plays a game and aims to beat the game as fast as they can. There are different categories of speedrunning. Any percent, where you beat the game as fast as you can. 100%, where you beat the game 100% as fast as you can. Low percent, where you beat the game while doing the least amount of progression possible. And glitchless, where you play without performing any glitches. I really enjoy watching somebody speedrun a game I have either played or beaten. I genuinely enjoy seeing things I didn't know were even possible in these games. Knowing how much time, practice, and knowing the games on the back of their hands is needed blows my mind, especially with harder games. These guys make the Lion King on Super Nintendo look so easy, it makes me doubt my gaming skills. So how exactly did speedrunning become such a highly appreciated part of gaming? Because this obviously didn't happen overnight. Speedrunning has pretty much existed since the arcade and Atari 2600 days. Players would try and get the highest score as fast as they could, so they could get an even higher score in the same amount of time. But when the NES came out and games had an end goal instead of playing until you get a high score, kids would try and beat the game as fast as possible before they got called down for breakfast. So speedrunning. Most games during that time didn't have the option to save. Some had password systems, but most games had to be beaten in one sitting, which takes a few hours depending on the game. So speedrunning existed before speedrunning existed, so how did speedrunning start existing how it exists today? In 1993, id Software released Doom, and it included a feature that lets you record gameplay in small files that were easier to upload to the internet than actual video files at the time. Due to Doom's popularity, a community was formed when the website compete.n was created, which hosted leaderboards dedicated to ranking completion time of Doom levels. Once sharing videos became easier and live streaming became a thing, speedrunning became more accessible and gained more popularity. And then Speedrun.com was created with the goal of having leaderboards for every game and subsections in that game depending on the run. And socializing with people online became easier, meaning you can get advice from the speedrunning community. Every game has a community. There may even be a community for Jimmy Connor's Pro Tennis Duo on the Super Nintendo if I look hard enough. Many speedrunners have said that the community has improved their mental health and motivated to improve and be a good sport. But as good as that sounds, every community has its downside. Cheaters. With anything competitive, there is always somebody who tries to win with as little effort as possible. From splicing, which is where somebody takes a bunch of speedrun videos and puts them together, and go. Oh my gosh, a cool spot! Yes! Dude, I'm chicken! There is also task botting, which is where a player records their inputs as a task run, which is a speedrun that uses emulation and tools to record button inputs, which is played back to create a theoretical perfect playthrough, which isn't put in the same category as regular speedruns. Task botting is when somebody does a test run on actual hardware and tries to pass it off as legit, modifying and using cheat codes, or even just as simple as lying about your time. Because of how much skill speedrunning requires, I never gave it a chance until I bought Nintendo World Championships NES Edition on the Nintendo Switch. Have a look at me get the world record on balloon fight. 108 people got this before me, but I don't care, it's still the world record. Nintendo World Championships NES Edition on the Nintendo Switch has a bunch of challenges for some of the finest games on the NES, and you have to complete these challenges as fast as you can. And the rush I get when I play this really has me playing it constantly, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. Probably because it has Mario 2 and Donkey Kong in it. Honestly, they should make a Super Nintendo edition with Jimmy Connor's Pro Tennis Tour and the Lion King on it. I could imagine one of the challenges be, beat the second level. I bet you can't. The game gives me a rush because of the atmosphere. You can hear crowd noises, cheering, the game's audio has a stadium effect, and the way your time pops up when you finish gives you that, I was so close, let me do this again feeling. Which is why I would genuinely want to start speedrunning myself. Sure, I know I'm unlikely to get a world record with those really well-known games, but those more obscure games, I feel like I have a really good chance of getting. One of the reasons I got into retro gaming to begin with was because of the more experimental and strange titles that companies would create. Sure, you still get those types of games from independent developers, but it's unlikely Nintendo will ever make a Mario 2 or Zelda 2, or any other companies would make like a Less to the Unlikely, or license games based off properties like Drake and Josh or the Blues Brothers. Strange games like these are possible speedrunning gold mines just waiting to be discovered. Also shovelware crap like Ninja Breadman that are glitchy messes. There is a pile of gold we haven't given the chance to show itself. While I doubt anybody cares about Bob the Builder on the V-Smile as much as I do, people just need to give these a shot and see how it goes. And speaking of which, I gotta go speedrun Donkey Kong. No wait, What was I just saying about obscure games? I'll do something else instead. Ah yeah.
Load 15.
I've already lost my opportunity to get in the world record, haven't I?